Here we are, week number 6, 42 days in. I'm feeling really buzzed, really excited, and if I had time, I'd probably have a party right now. But the truth is, I'm exhausted. I'm Matt Cumming, a graphic designer, author, songwriter, and massive fan of all things stylish and creative. When I discovered the remarkable results that everyday people like me were achieving through the Australian Institute of Creative Design's fashion mentoring program, I instantly knew that I had to give it a go to see if I could turn my own secret lifelong dream of creating a fashion label into a reality. But to really put it to the ultimate test, I decided to squeeze their normal program into an insanely short time frame. So I'll be fast-tracking 12 months worth of research, planning, branding, design, web development, production, marketing, customer service, growth management, and so much more to see if I can build a brand new fashion label from scratch in just 12 weeks. So join me for 84 crazy days to watch every single step of the agony and ecstasy unfold throughout my 12-week fashion launch. This week there was a bit of progression in a number of different areas. I found a new model that will be absolutely perfect through one of the local model agencies here on the Gold Coast. I also started working on a brand new Kickstarter campaign, hopefully to get some pre-orders of my shirts. I spoke to Susan Haynes, one of the other trainers in styling at the Australian Institute of Creative Design, about how we're going to approach the photo shoot. I followed up on some missing items, some white fabric in particular that I needed for one of my garments, and also discovered an incredible fabric store here on the Gold Coast called Fifi's Fabricology, which has an incredible array of patterned fabrics. Exactly what I need to finish off all of the fabric ordering and finally get all of my shirts made. In the call this week, we revisited a lot of the elements to make sure that decisions had been made that needed to be made by this stage, and all of the things that needed to be ordered were ordered by this stage. Admittedly, some of the things are running a little bit late. Some of my contrast fabrics, the patterned fabrics that I'm hoping for, that side of things is behind schedule, so I need to get on track with that. We discussed keeping on the backs of suppliers, making sure that things are moving at the rate that they need to move in order for us to achieve this in such a short time frame. We're really now into the second half, so we started to look at preparation for the launch at the end of the 12 weeks and all of the things that need to happen leading up to that. My mentor checked in with me regarding where things are at with the website, with marketing, planning, strategy, and all of the people that I may need to bring into place for those things to happen. Certainly revisiting things like the photo shoot, styling, the people who are involved with that, and how far that has progressed. On a very practical level, my mentor discussed with me the idea of having contracts with suppliers to make sure things get done in the way that they're supposed to be done, and certainly within the time frame that they're supposed to be done in. For the most part, challenges this week were really around feeling fatigued, particularly by the number of decisions that have had to be made so far, and all of the things that have had to be put in place and ordered and committed to in such a short time frame. I don't have the luxury of going back and changing decisions that have already been made, and I think that that's playing on my mind just a little bit. Also, I've been having real trouble deciding which fabrics to use for the contrast fabrics. There are so many patterns, so many options, and I have to be very clear about the brand that I'm trying to create and the message that even the subtleties of various patterns might send to my future customers. And finally this week, another of the challenges was it's incredibly important that I get the right model for the photo shoot, because really that's the thing that's going to sell the brand in a way. It's the first point that people will see. It's the first aspect of the brand that people will see and acknowledge and either relate to and connect with or not. And that's crucial when it comes to sales. There have been 3 really exciting opportunities arise this week. The first being the discovery of Fifi's Fabricology. Now, I don't know how I didn't notice them before, but they're right near where I work, and it's perfect to just be able to slip in there at lunchtime and have a look at their incredible range of patterned fabrics. They're actually a quilting store, and maybe that's why I didn't find them at first, because I wasn't, searching Google for quilting stores. It's amazing these little things that you learn along the way, where to find certain things, not always where you expect it. But certainly the quality of fabrics in a quilting store is actually exceptionally high. They have some fantastic brands like Moda in stock, which have beautiful classic designs, with incredibly high quality fabrics. The second major opportunity this week was in discussion with Susan Hines at the Australian Institute of Creative Design. She told me about a model agency here on the Gold Coast called Katz, which has got some really great models, and one in particular really caught my eye. In fact, I'm absolutely sure that he will be perfect for the photo shoot. So I've begun making arrangements with them, and hopefully that all comes together in the following week. There were a few things this week that actually gave me a bit of a buzz, got me excited, despite the fatigue. But probably the two most exciting things were, discovering all of the beautiful fabrics at Fifi's Fabricology and discovering, an amazing model at Katz Modelling Agency here on the Gold Coast. I think the most crucial learning this week, despite being on a super short time frame, was still not to settle for second best. I think with some of the contrast fabrics, the pattern fabrics that I was looking at previously, whilst they were good, they were not great. So, discovering Fifi's Fabricology was a result of me keeping on, pushing towards what I really wanted, not just settling for what might be okay. And in exactly the same way, discovering this amazing model at Katz Modelling Agency was a result of that same process of just pushing on until I found exactly what I wanted, not just settling for what I had because I felt short on time. How this week has affected me is definitely in the area of commitment. There have been times this week feeling a little fatigued. I've really stepped back from the whole process and asked myself, how committed am I to completing this task? Of course, I am committed to completing the task. So what that's helped me to do is really get back in the game, even when I didn't feel like it. So that's it. End of week number 6. Amazing, past the halfway mark. Next week, stepping into week number 7 and the second half of this incredible process. In the week to come, hopefully I will have locked down my model and ordered my final contrast fabrics, received all of the final trims that I'm waiting on, and then have everything sent off to my shirt maker to get those shirts made.